Apollo Control Houston, 141 hours 55 minutes into the flight of Apollo 13. At present, we're now feeding a downrange picture of the recovery on the NASA closed circuit television circuit. Further report from recovery. All recovery aircraft, the C-130s, are airborne, and helicopters 1 and 2 with swimmers are airborne and proceeding to station at this time. This is Apollo Control Houston at 141 hours 56 minutes into the flight of Apollo 13. Apollo Control Houston, 141 hours 56 minutes into the flight. Apollo 13 now 7,084 nautical miles away from Earth. Velocity increasing, presently reading 20,770 feet per second. Further report from recovery. Both Orion aircraft are airborne and on station. This is Apollo Control Houston at 141 hours 57 minutes into the flight. Apollo Control Houston, 141 hours 59 minutes, or correction, 142 hours now into the flight. We show Apollo 13 at an altitude of 6,613 nautical miles away. Velocity really beginning to build up now reading 21,227 feet per second. We show 40 minutes from time of re-entry into the Earth's atmosphere.
Odyssey Houston, over.
Go ahead.
Okay, Jack, we'd like poo and accept for your final state vector.
You got it.
And Odyssey Houston, we're also sending you a final PIPA bias update and clock increment, over.
Okay, fine, thanks, Joe. How does the level look? Are you still tracking it?
All I've heard was that it's that the cabin was holding pressure. I haven't heard anything more. And Odyssey, we're ready for you to warm up the BMAG number 2s at your discretion, and we're curious whether the moon check attitude is good, over.
Yeah, Joe, it's coming down. I guess it's about 45 degrees now and coming on down.
Roger that.
This is Apollo Control Houston, 142 hours 3 minutes now into the flight. We presently show on one of our displays splash coordinates of 21 degrees 39 minutes south, 165 degrees 23 minutes west. Apollo 13 now at an altitude of 5,862 nautical miles, of velocity now reading 22,085 feet per second.
Odyssey Houston, the computer is yours, over.
Okay, thanks, Joe.
Apollo Control Houston, 142 hours 7 minutes now into the flight of Apollo 13. Odyssey now 34 minutes away from time of entry into the Earth's atmosphere. Mission Control has just passed a computer update to the onboard CMC. And as you heard Joe Kerwin's last report to the crew, telling them that the computer now belongs to them. We're at 142 hours 7 minutes, continuing to monitor. This is Apollo Control.
The moon is coming down to about 38 degrees.
Okay, Jack, sounds real good.
Apollo Control at 142 hours 8 minutes now into the flight. Apollo 13 presently 5,134 nautical miles away from Earth. Velocity now reading 23,023 feet per second. We're 33 minutes away from time of entry. This is Apollo Control Houston.
Odyssey Houston.
Go ahead.
Okay, we'd like the S-band power amplifier to off center at this time, Jim.
Off center. Yeah, sir.
Okay, you're still looking real fat on power. We show you having over 30 amps on the water. If you do get into a bind and don't come up, that's amp hours. don't come up with recovery, you can always power down, and you can always put the pyro batteries on the line if you need them after you're down.
Okay.
Apollo Control Houston, 142 hours, 14 minutes now into the mission. Apollo 13 presently 4,075 nautical miles out from Earth. Velocity now showing 24,619 feet per second. We're less than 27 minutes now from time of entry into the Earth's atmosphere.
Joe, are you planning to run us all the way down without the suit compressor?
Say again, Jack.
Are you planning to turn on the suit compressor at all on the way down?
That's a negative, Jack. I'll verify it, but I sure don't think so.
Okay, that's all right with us.
Okay, Jack, this is Houston. We've got power, and you can cycle it for 10 minutes if you so desire, but we don't think you need to do it, over.
Okay, well, we'll hold on.
Okay, real fine. How'd the EMS check go, Jack?
EMS checked out okay.
Good deal.
Been initialized and setting on entry.
Roger.
Apollo Control Houston, 142 hours, 17 minutes now into the mission. Our digital display presently shows Apollo 13 at 3,505 nautical miles away from Earth. Now traveling at a speed of 25,693 feet per second. Jack Swigert confirms that the EMS check went well, which provides a good backup monitor for checking the guidance and navigation system performance. We're at 142 hours, 18 minutes into the flight. This is Apollo Control Houston.
Okay, Joe, are you watching, you and Fido taking a look at our noun 60 here?
That's affirmative. Hold it for just a second. We're looking at 6.13 and 4.80. I'll get a check on that.
Okay, there's not too many G's.
Jack, Fido says that's okay.
Okay.
Apollo Control, that was a reading from the onboard computer displays showing a velocity at entry of 36,211 feet per second.
Jack, Houston, your noun 63 looks good to us also.
Okay.
Apollo Control Houston, 142 hours, 22 minutes now into the mission.
Oh, on our plot board up here, we can't hardly see how far out you are.
Okay. I know all of us here want to thank all you guys down there for the very fine job you did. That's the first, Joe.
Tell you, we all had a good time doing it.
We now show Apollo 13 at a distance of 2,581 nautical miles.
Houston, just for your information, it looks as though battery C will deplete around main shoot time. That's expected. You've got plenty of amp hours in the other batteries.
We now show a velocity of 27,553 feet per second at 142 hours, 24 minutes.
Odyssey, Houston, over. Odyssey, Houston, over.
Apollo Control Houston at 142 hours, 25 minutes now in the mission. Aboard Apollo 13.
Houston, over.
Go ahead.
Okay, I was going to tell you about that handover we just had, but I was a little late on the ball. Since we're fat on power and we'd kind of like to have S-band with you after blackout, we'd like you to delete the step on your entry checklist, page 2-5, after begin blackout that says power PMP'd off. We'd like you to leave it on if you think of it, over.
Okay.
Okay.
We're now reading the onboard computer display, which shows a present velocity of 29,160 feet per second. This is what the crew is reading out. A range to go distance of 4,984 nautical miles. We're at 142 hours, 26 minutes into the flight. We show 14 and a half minutes from time of entry interface. 13 minutes now from predicted time of entry. The onboard computer shows a velocity of 30,113 feet per second, a range to go distance of 4,683 nautical miles. The retro fire officer has just reported to Flight Director Gene Kranz. We look real good here now. Telemu has just reported to Flight Director Gene Kranz that we have now lost tracking on Lunar Module Aquarius. 11 minutes away now from time of entry interface. Onboard displays show a velocity of 31,141 feet per second, a range to go distance of 4,332 nautical miles. We're at 142 hours, 30 minutes into the flight of Apollo 13.
Odyssey, Houston, over.
Go ahead.
Okay, at 10 minutes to 400K. You're looking good. We're real happy with the trajectory, and a minute ago we just lost contact with your friend Aquarius.
Okay. Where did she go?
Oh, I know. She's up there somewhere.
She sure was a good ship.
Hey, just as I said that, we got another burst of LEM data, so I guess it's still ticking.
9 minutes now from time of entry interface. The onboard computer now reading a velocity of 32,193 feet per second, a range to go distance of 3,919 nautical miles.
Odyssey, Houston, your Disky is doing all the right things. The GNN is go, over.
Okay, thank you. You have a good bedside manner, Joe.
Say again, Jack.
You have a good bedside manner.
That's the nicest thing anybody's ever said.
Capcom Joe Kerwin, in addition to being an astronaut, is also a medical doctor.
I sure wish I could go to the Fido party tonight.
Yeah, it's going to be a wild one.
Less than 7 minutes now from time of entry into the Earth's atmosphere. Onboard display now shows a velocity of 33,383 feet per second.
We'll cover for you guys, and if Jack's got any phone numbers he wants us to call, why pass them down.
Range to go now, 3,271 nautical miles. We're 6 minutes now from time of re-entry in the Earth's atmosphere. 5 minutes to go now for re-entry into the Earth's atmosphere. Now reading a velocity of 34,335 feet per second. Range to go 2,921 nautical miles. Flight Director Gene Kranz now going around the room, pulsing his flight control team as to status.
Odyssey, Houston, over.
Go ahead.
Okay, we just had one last time around the room, and everybody says you're looking great.
Thank you.
4 minutes to go now for entry interface. Velocity now reading 34,802 feet per second. Range to go 2,625 nautical miles. Still receiving onboard data. Still looking good. 3 minutes to go now from time of entry into the Earth's atmosphere. Onboard displays show a velocity of 35,245 feet per second. Range to go 2,301 nautical miles.
Okay, moon just a color.
Odyssey, Houston, over.
Go ahead.
Okay, LOS in a minute or a minute and a half. At entry attitude, we like Omni Charlie. And welcome home, over.
Thank you.
2 minutes to go till entry. Velocity now reading 35,646 feet per second. Range to go 1,961 nautical miles. Apollo Control Houston, we've just had loss of signal from Honeysuckle with Apollo 13. Our last velocity reading was 35,837 feet per second with a range to go of 1,791 nautical miles. Apollo 13 should have entered the Earth's atmosphere at this time. Moments ago, we had a report from the retro fire officer that based on his data, a predicted set of coordinates for splash of 21 degrees, 39 minutes south, 165 degrees, 22 minutes west. The period of blackout for the spacecraft should have begun about 20 some odd seconds ago. Apollo Control Houston, Apollo 13 should be coming up on max G right now. Our last estimate for max G was 5.2 Gs. We have about a minute and a half to go during this period of blackout. Here in Mission Control, the scene from the recovery ship Iwo Jima has been flashed up on one of our large screens for all of the flight controllers to watch. We have about 1 minute to go now from time of end blackout. About 30 seconds to go for blackout. Less than 10 seconds now. We will attempt to contact Apollo 13 through one of the Araya aircraft. Continuing to monitor this Apollo Control Houston. Apollo 13 should be out of blackout at this time. We're standing by for any reports of Orion acquisition. The Orion, a C-135 type aircraft. Coming up now on 3 minutes until time of drogue deployment. Standing by for any reports of acquisition. We've had a report that Orion 4 aircraft has acquisition of signal.
Odyssey Houston standing by, over.
Okay, no.
Okay, we read you, Jack.
That was Jim Lovell responding with the OK Joe. Correction there, that was Command Module Pilot Jack Swigert.
We're looking at the weather on TV, and it looks just as advertised, real good.
Less than 2 minutes now from time of drogue deployment. Less than a minute away now from time of drogue deployment. Less than 30 seconds away now from drogue deployment. The drogue deployment, these two chutes will provide braking and stabilization prior to main chute deployment. Standing by now for continuing to monitor.
Odyssey Houston standing by for your noun 67 when you get it, over.
Yeah, we got two drogues.
Roger that.
A report of two good drogues coming up now for main chutes. Standing by for confirmation of main chutes.
Odyssey Houston, we show you on the mains. It really looks great.
An extremely loud applause here in Mission Control.
Visual, very good. Five.
An extremely loud applause as Apollo 13 on main chutes comes through loud and clear on the television display here.
Hey, we come on, Roger. Visual control is recovery out of visual bearing 190, over. Hey, we give our 1 as a visual 110. Degrees magnetic. Hey, we come on, Roger. Apollo 6. There's a recovery, over.
A recovery helicopter has just put in a call to Apollo 13.
Apollo 13, this is recovery, over.
We have a report from the Iwo Jima that Apollo 13 at a distance of 4 miles from the ship. The smoke you see is venting of RCS propellants, reaction control system propellants.
They're going through 5,000. Roger, Apollo 13, this is recovery, and your chutes look good. Apollo 13, this is recovery. We observed your RCS burn, over.
You heard the conversation between the recovery helicopter and the crew of Apollo 13. The floor of the Mission Operations Control Room now crowded. And there are visible smiles on the faces of the flight controllers and astronauts in this room.
Apollo 13 is descending through 2,000 feet. Okay, all cover you concur. Roger out.
A report from the Iwo Jima that Apollo 13 is descending at a point 4 miles due south of the ship.
Apollo 13 and recovery passing through 1,000 feet. Iwo Jima, Roger. Through 500 feet. So M1 on station. It is on station. Photo 1's on station.
another chair in the control room as we head splashdown.
Photo 1 splashdown at this time. The three chutes are displaced or in the water. Recovery, I have marked off this time. Mark 0 degrees magnetic 3.5 miles. Iwo Jima. Iwo Jima, roger. This 401, the command module is stable 1 at this time. They're riding comfortably. And recovery is commencing retrieval of the main chute.
The spacecraft splashed in stable 1. That's with the apex cover up, out of the water.
The vertical axis are approximately 15 degrees. Recovery is maneuvering to grapple the main chute. The two other chutes are still visible in the water. Swim 1, you're cleared. We got the position to retrieve the other two chutes. Swim 1, roger. This is 401. I observed the flashing light atop the command module. You went line 270. This 101 presently winds in the area from 270 magnetic, approximately 6 knots.
Recovery 1 will be will perform the pickup of the crew.
See the recovery beacon antenna atop the command module. This is photo 1, the mylar covering on the exterior of the command module has been removed in the area opposite the crew access hatch. Recovery has grabbed one of the main chutes and deployed a raft to keep it afloat. Robotics moving out on the second chute on you. Port side, recovery visual. Stated the command module is swells 3 to 5 feet from the east. The sea is approximately 1 to 2 feet. Photo, this is Iwo Jima, interrogative astronaut condition over. Photo 1, roger, break, Apollo 13. Is the crew condition okay, over? Very good shape. We're just scripting to put out the front side. Roger. Copy, Iwo Jima. Iwo Jima, copy. This is 401. Crowd conditions in the recovery area are approximately 6/10. Cloud cover, combination high cirrus and low stratus. Iwo Jima, this is recovery. I am assuming on scene commander this time, unless otherwise directed, intent to commence the retrieval operations in 1 minute, over. This is Iwo Jima, roger. Swim 1. Continue retrieval of that main chute, swim 2. You're cleared into ready position. Recovery is taking backup position, over. This is 401, presently unable to see the third main chute. Swim 1 is grappling the second main chute.
Okay, Jack, you got 13
The drift of the command module is very slight at this time in the direction of 110. Magnetic. Swim 1 is still attempting to make connection with the second main chute. Swim 1 unable to grab it and thank before we could grapple. This is recovery, roger, understand. Swim 1, take standby position. Swim 1, roger. Relay to deep is approximately 10 1 mile, over. Roger, swim 1, detach. Proceed to the apex cover and attempt retrieval, over. Swim 1, roger. Swim 2, this is recovery. You're cleared to deploy one swimmer at the sea anchor, over. That's it, roger. This is the photo 1. Observe the uprighting bags, partially inflated at this time.
We copied the report and see it visually, the uprighting bags inflated.
This photo 1 estimates uprighting bags are approximately 1/3 inflated. I can see partial inflation on all 3 uprighting bags. Apollo 13, this is recovery, over. Roger 13, this is recovery. Would you confirm a successful RCS dump, over? That's affirmative. We had a successful dump. Roger, we will advise the swimmers. Request to my swimmers advise. Photo 1, the first swimmer has been deployed. They signaled a thumbs up in the water in good condition. He is making his way to the command module. Inflation of the uprighting bags estimated to be 40%. First swimmer is at the command module. He will commence the anchor attachment shortly. Apollo 13, this is recovery, over. Recovery 13 here. Roger 13, this is recovery. Do you have a lap long and readiness to go for me, over? our distance to the ship? This is recovery. Your present distance to the ship, 1 mile bearing 3002 to the ship. Your splashdown point, 3 miles from Iwo Jima.
Thank you.
This is Photo 1. The sea anchor has been attached. Observe a thumbs up from the swimmer. And swim 2, this is recovery. You're clear to deploy 2 swimmers and the flotation collar, over. Swim 2, roger.
The sea anchor attached to a pad eye on the side of the Apollo 13 command module.
Getting thumbs up. Everything progressing satisfactorily.
This done to slow down the drift.
Has oriented the command module in the customary manner. Swim 2 is moving in to deploy the flotation collar and 2 additional swimmers. Swim 1 has deployed a smoke in the area and is attempting to retrieve the accessories. Swim 1 has deployed a swimmer in the water. Swim 2 has deployed 2 swimmers. I see a thumbs up. And the flotation collar is deployed. The uprighting bags are inflated approximately 90% this time. The swimmers are working the flotation collar into the command module. Flotation collar is at the command module. The bungee is being extracted and is being deployed around the command module.
The flotation collar will be pulled around the command module with a bungee cord.
One section of the bungee is being attached to the sea anchor attachment ring. It appears to be satisfactorily connected. The second section of the bungee is approximately 90% around the command module.
The flotation collar will be hooked to a bungee line by a line with rings on the flotation collar, and will be pulled around before it's inflated.
Flotation collar has commenced. It is approximately 20% around the command module. The flotation collar is approximately 60% deployed around the command module. There is no apparent drift of the command module at this time.
After the collar is secured, 2 7-man life rafts will be dropped with sea anchors attached to the bottom. This is done to keep the rafts from turning over from helicopter backwash.
And we are standing by for inflation. low. Turn off recovery beacon, over. Roger, break Apollo 13, you copy. Perform, we'll turn off. Roger. Installation of the flotation collar. Presently normal, standing by for inflation. I observe flotation taking place at this time. Approximately 60% complete. Inflation of the flotation collar appears complete at this time. Apollo 13 appears to be riding a little more comfortably this time. The pitch about the vertical axis is negligible. A swimmer is installing securing straps, fastening them to the tower bolts on the upper deck. Adjustments are made and he gives the signal for deployment of the egress raft. 1-2, this is recovery. You're cleared to deploy the egress raft upon completion. Take backup position. Recovery goes to ready position. Wednesday, roger. Photo 1, further adjustments being made. Securing straps. Situation normal. Swim 2 has commenced its maneuvering to deploy the egress raft. Swim 2 is in position. Crewmen are standing by at the hatch. The egress raft is in the water, approximately 10 feet from the command module. Two swimmers have the raft in hand and are swimming it to the command module. Raft is at the command module. Swimmers are opening it.
Yeah, the next step in our sequence is to open the hatch.
And the inflation appears to be satisfactory. Swimmers are working to secure the egress raft. satisfactory. Situation static at this time. Presently have 2 swimmers in the egress raft and 2 swimmers standing by in the water. The swim leader is standing on the flotation collar, checking the interior of the command module.
Control, go ahead with your quick look.
Swim leader is standing on the flotation collar, peering in the forward viewing windows. Recovery is commencing approach to deploy the astronaut's flotation equipment. Recovery is moving into position. The rescue net is halfway down. Recovery is maneuvering to place the rescue net in the egress raft. A swim leader has the rescue net in hand, and it is in the egress raft. The equipment is being removed. Thumbs up. Our rescue net is on its way back. Swim leader is at the crew access hatch. Appears to be getting ready to open the access hatch. He's checking in the forward viewing windows.
Roger, sir. Would you repeat one more time on item Papa? Was that minus 113 USB? Over. Roger, copy, minus 113 dBm single strain.
Photo 1, the crew access hatch is open, and the equipment is being passed to the astronaut.
Sierra 4.
The hatch is closed again. Swim leader is observing the activity through the forward viewing window.
Roger, sir, copy all.
Situation static at this time. Have 2 swimmers standing by in safe position in the water. Have 2 swimmers in the egress raft.
Roger, sir, we copied and they're picking it up now. The 3 Apollo 13 crew members will be hoisted up into the Recovery 1 helicopter by the Billy Punet. The device you see that looks much like a half bird cage For the first time, there are stifters in this net. The Billy Pugh net has been used on previous recoveries. These made out of aluminum to provide rigidity to the net. The 3 Apollo crew members will exit the spacecraft into the egress raft. The Billy Pugh net, by the way, has a center of gravity which is forward of the center line toward the open end to assure that...
Situation is normal at this time. Are standing by while the astronauts make their preparations inside the command module.
This forward center of gravity is designed to assure that an individual being picked up would not tumble out.
Swim leader is opening the crew access hatch. It's completely open.
Roger, we'll send that itinerary to Nandi by telex, if that's okay.
First astronaut is climbing out of the command module and is in the egress raft.
All right, 2 around control cellular, you a box.
Second astronaut is on his way out, being assisted by swim leader.
And you want that on all
Standing on the flotation collar and is in the egress raft. Followed by the third astronaut moving through the crew access hatch. The third astronaut is standing on the flotation collar and is in the egress raft. Swim leader is making a final check prior to closing the access hatch. The hatch is closed. He is securing it with the hatch tool. We have 3 swimmers in the safety position in the water. Swim leader is giving the signal for the rescue net. Recovery is maneuvering for position to commence retrieval of the astronaut. The rescue net is halfway down.
Test 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay.
The rescue net is in hand. Resting on the platform. The first astronaut is climbing aboard. Signal has been given. Ready for lift. First astronaut is on his way up. Excellent pickup. No oscillation. First astronaut is halfway up. The first astronaut is at the cargo hatch and is safely aboard the helicopter. Excellent. Iwo Jima, copy. Recovery is in position for the second retrieval. Your rescue net is being positioned in the egress raft. Your rescue net is in the raft. Is positioned on the platform. The second astronaut is climbing aboard. The signal is given for a rise. Second astronaut is on his way up. Second astronaut is halfway up. Excellent pickup, no oscillation. Your rescue net is at the cargo hatch, and the second astronaut is safely aboard. This is recovery. I have astronaut Weigert on board. He reports he's field 5. Iwo Jima, copy. Recovery is maneuvering for position for the third retrieval. Swim leader has the rescue net. Is positioned aboard the platform. The third astronaut is climbing aboard. Thumbs up, ready for lift. Third astronaut is on his way up. Test 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Third astronaut is halfway up. Test 1, 2. Third astronaut is steering the cargo hatch. And he is safely aboard 6-6. This is recovery. I have Captain Lovell aboard. He reports he feels fine. Over. Iwo Jima, copy. Recovery is moving left. Photo, you're cleared in for your documentary photography. Photo. Test 1, 2. Testing 1, 2. me starboard. 1, join me port. 2, this is recovery. You're prepared to deploy your smoke. Sky marker over. Roger, roger. Recovery and photos, the Wadima Tower. Report your gear, and you have Charlie on spots 3 and 5. Your wind is 10 starboard at 10 knots. This is recovery, roger, copy. So be advised, I'll make a wide circle in order to allow the passengers to get into their flight suits. Roger, recovery.
Hey, FAO. Hey, I'd like to update the story.
Zealand Tower, this is primary. This is a recovery. We estimate we'll be ready to touch down in 4 minutes. 4 minutes, over. Recovery Tower, roger.
Here in the Mission Control Center, the tempo of conversation has picked up considerably. That's one thing you normally do not hear is loud voices, but they're certainly loud, happy voices at this point.
13. Roger, you have a signal Charlie, dispatch 3-5, your wind 10, starboard at 11. Charlie, roger out. That's photo 1, secure down and lock. Roger, your Charlie, dispatch 5, your wind 10, starboard at 112.
As we look around the room, we see a large representation of the astronaut corps. Donald K. Slayton, of course, is here. He's been here all night. Alan Shepard, commander for Apollo 14. Joe Engle is here. Tom Stafford, chief of the astronaut office. Vance Brand, who served as a support crew member for Apollo 13.
Which swim aircraft remains out? This is recovery, negative, no preference. Roger, swim 1, we'll have you babysitting. On earlier.
Gene Cernan, backup commander for Apollo 14, is here. Tony England, who served as the scientist for the Apollo 13 crew, is in the room at this time, as is John Young.
To give you a hearty well done.
Your wind position gauging 10, starboard at 13. That's all, roger out.
The applause you just heard in the Mission Control Center came from a message delivered by Administrator Thomas Paine over the flight director's loop, congratulating from the President of the United States, congratulating the team of Apollo 13.
Jim, I must commend you on your navigation. Welcome on board Iwo Jima. I would like to ask the chaplain to say a real brief prayer, thanks. Let us pray. O Lord, we
joyfully welcome back to Earth astronauts Lovell, Hayes, and Swigert, who, by your grace, their skill, and the skill of many men, survived the dangers encountered in their mission and returned to us safe and whole. We offer our humble thanksgiving for this successful recovery. Amen. Base over here.
The plaque for Apollo 13 has just been placed on the wall in the mission control room. That brought about this loud applause we just heard. This is Apollo Control Houston. We expect to have 3 news conferences picking up shortly in the Building 1 auditorium. The first starting in approximately 30 minutes with NASA Administrator Thomas Paine and Deputy Administrator George Lowe. This will be followed approximately 30 minutes later, involving Dale Myers, Associate Administrator for Manned Spaceflight, Dr. Gilruth, Robert Gilruth, Director of the Manned Spacecraft Center, Mr. Rocco Patrone, Apollo Program Director, Jim McDivitt, Manager of the Apollo Spacecraft Program Office at the Manned Spacecraft Center in Houston, and Mr. Chris Kraft, Deputy Director at MSC. Following that will be a third news conference with Mission Director Chet Lee, Director of Flight Operations Sig Schulberg, and Lead Flight Director for this mission, Milt Windler, and Mr. Ozzie Covington of the Goddard Space Flight Center. We copied splashdown at 142 hours, 54 minutes, 44 seconds from liftoff, and this is Apollo Control Houston signing off at this time.